And we are here joined by Chrispin Onyango, who is the Secretary General of Mombasa County Boxing Association, and also by Goldsmith Wafula, who is among the coaches who has benefited from a very interesting program. I believe it's called Ndani, Mashinani. But to tell us more about this, about what boxing is like, especially here at the coast, here in Mombasa, I shall hand over to Mr. Onyango. Mr. Onyango, welcome to Kenya International Sportsman Festival.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chrispin Onyango. As you have heard, I'm the Secretary General of Boxing of Mombasa County Boxing Association. And I'm also the second Vice President of Boxing Federation of Kenya. So thank you very much for welcoming me here. I'm humbled.
And also we have Goldsmith Wafula. Goldsmith, you are a coach, I believe. You're a boxer. Oh, okay, all right, you're a boxer. And I think, are you based exclusively here in Mombasa? You're based here in Mombasa, okay. Let me hand you my microphone so that you can tell us a bit about how boxing is here in Mombasa, and have you boxed outside of Mombasa so far? There you have Mike.
Good morning.
Morning.
As I said, I'm Wafula Goldsmith. I'm a boxer based in Mombasa. Boxing in Mombasa used to be, what I can say, it's 50-50. It's not that good, it's not that bad, because we used to lack support, but somehow starting, let me say, boxing had been forgotten in Mombasa. It wasn't supported that much until lately we started to get support from a few associations like the Francais in Mombasa. So the support that they started giving us is the one that encouraged us. But in the past years, we used to train and participate in this Kenya, like these selection games and the Kenya National League games, which it wasn't easy, because you will box, you give it all your best, but getting the recognition and play or maybe represent Kenya team in the national game wasn't that easy. But lately, from the support that we have get the past few years, let me say 2 or 3 years past, we are really giving it the best, because we have support now, we have equipment, we are provided equipment with the association that I've talked about, like the Francais and some other few associations.
Okay, and Chrispin, you've been a boxer for a very long time. It's about mental stimulation, it's about physical stimulation. How has boxing affected your life positively?
Yeah, okay, actually I cannot say that boxing has affected my life, but you know, when you are in boxing, you must give it your all. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be, in fact, to be a leader. You know, I'm also a coach, and I mentor a lot of kids around Mombasa, especially in Kisauni. Being in mind that, you know, Kisauni has had a very bad record of criminal activities and the youths using drugs and so on. So it takes a toll to bring the kids to the gym. Once you get to the gym, you know, you are also a father. In a way, you are also a father, because you can get in the gym, you get a boxer is very much committed. He has a lot in terms of family problems and so on. So you must take you must take charge as a father, despite being a coach. Yes.
Goldsmith, how has boxing impacted your life in a positive way? Is it something that has encouraged you as a human? Is it something that you want your friends, relatives, associates to get into as well?
Yes, boxing has impacted me positively in a lot of ways. One of the ways which I can mention, I was born in Mombasa, school in Mombasa, then my high school, I learned in Mombasa. So boxing has helped me to go places. Like when going to play the games in, let me say, Nairobi, Kisumu, it has helped me see many places, interact with many people, and it's a good sport. It keeps you fit physically, it opens your mind, and being physically fit prevents you from a lot of things like health issues. So it's good. It's a good sport. I can advise people who are taking it to take it seriously, and those who are interested, enjoy it.
Coach, does boxing involve an element or elements of strategy and technique?
Yeah, definitely. Boxing, like any other sports. First, I've been in quite a number of international assignments as an assistant coach of the national team. I was in a World Championship some years back. I think it was in 2020. And we as Africans, we are very physically fit. But in terms of tactical and technical superiority, that's where our European counterparts reign. So it needs a lot of strategy. It needs a lot. It's not all about being physically fit. So it takes a lot to be tactical and technical. Yes.
What is it that our US and European counterparts do that is very different? Because you have people like Mike Tyson, who came from a very difficult background and was able to make it to where he made it, when he made it, through just grit, determination, ambition. Because when we see them training, they don't have high-tech facilities. It's just a ring, like another ring that can be found here. So what is the key? What is the strategy that they use that we don't use here, that we don't apply here?
Now, I think when you say that they don't have facilities, first you should check maybe in our local gyms like Kisauni, in this Kisauni Strip and other areas. So I think that the context they don't have facilities, according to me, is not true, because you cannot compare a gym. You cannot compare a small gym in the US and a small gym in maybe Kenya. At times, in fact, first and foremost, I like to appreciate Alliance Française. They really assisted us in getting equipment. That was Alliance Française in partnership with the French embassy. So we had, most of our gyms had no equipment, even a punching bag, even a sparring gloves. So when you look at some gyms like US, they have a lot of equipment. Actually, they have a lot of equipment. I have gone in a country like Serbia. Serbia is not a rich country as such, but I tried to go to the local gyms there. You cannot compare to our gyms here in Kenya. So I think that's where we draw the line. And again, something that must, as Kenyans, if we want to prosper in boxing, the technical staff. We must update the technical staff with the very dynamic IBA and boxing rules. That's where we go wrong. You can get a coach who is a veteran coach, but he's not even updated about the modern training. So I think that's the problem.
In your humble opinion, what do you think went wrong? Because in the 80s, we were very strong in terms of boxing. We even had like the hit squad, and we had people like retired Major Mazda Madoka, who was chairman of the, I think, Kenya Amateur Boxing Association. But it was, in fact, I remember that was around the time when even Muhammad Ali came to visit Kenya as well. I think that time, the late Honorable Kenneth Matiba was the Minister for Sports and Culture. So, is it that you're not receiving support even from either the national government or the county government? Because I know I can hear you thanking Alliance Française, which is a very good thing, but I don't hear you saying anything about Mombasa County government or even the Kenyan government, any branch of either Ministry of Sports or even the department that deals with sports in the county government. Are you completely on your own?
Yeah, I can say, in 2013, after the devolution of sports, we have been trying to make visits in our county government offices about sports funding, but the response we get there is pathetic. There is no. They say that sport has not. The sports funds have not yet been devolved. In fact, as at now, as we are speaking, I think Senator Sifuna tried to table a motion in Parliament to devolve sports fund. Okay, and again, I think where the problem lies, you talked about 80s where we had Madsen Madoka, and my humble reply is this: when the rain started to rain on us is when the corporates withdrew from sports. We had Kenya Breweries.
Yes.
In fact, in Mombasa here we had KPA. We had Bamburi Portland, and they employed a lot of boxers. So because of lack of support, many boxers are disparate, and in fact they gave up on boxing.
If they start supporting us again like they used to in the past, many people will come back in the gyms. You see, now when you come to our gyms, our local gyms in the areas, there are not as many boxers as there used to be in the past because of lack of support, as the chairman has said. You can not come to train 2 years or 3 years and you don't have a job, you can't provide for yourself, you can't provide for your family if you have a family. So many boxers are challenged by the work issues. Boxers train at their young ages when they are in school, high school, or maybe college, but after school, one has to go and look for a job to work. So that's a challenge. You cannot train and at the same time work, or maybe you are employed for a 12-hour shift. So getting the time to train is hard. You wake up early, go to work, you come back from work late. So it's not easy to get the time to train. But if we get support, if boxers are supported, many people will show up. Boxers who used to train when they were in school, they come back to the gyms to train. So it will bring a positive impact.